Hello, everyone. Action Junkie here. It's a new show. It's called Before the Numbers. It's time to talk about college basketball. A couple lines got posted on Friday. I want all of my plays on the record before the rest of the lines come out after the exhibition games get wrapped up on Saturday and Sunday here. I think we should have all of the college basketball lines, I'm guessing, on Sunday or Monday. So this show will go through the 29 games for opening day on November 3rd that I have circled, I have targeted, and I want to bet on if the line comes out where I expect it to. So we're going to call this Before the Numbers because the best lines don't wait. For those of you that are listening on the podcast version, there will be a YouTube link in the show notes. This is probably a show that would be best to watch on YouTube because I'm going to have a lot of data on the screens that I won't be covering on the podcast version. But let's get into it here. During the course of the year, if you're watching the version on YouTube, please put notes in the show notes and let other people know if I'm making mistakes on a game or if you know about an injury that I didn't reference. There'll be a lot of injuries during the course of the year, of course. So if you watch this all year long on the YouTube version, please make notes and help us out to help anybody else that is watching the particular show. About me, once again, hey, past results don't equal future results, but the last 2 years have been good. But understand going into this, I am a volume better. I'm a quantity better, not a quality better. So last year, I lost 350 games. People say that's terrible. I won 432, so I did cash 55.2% of my bets on college basketball. I'll take that every single year. The year before, hit 54%. Does it mean anything this year? No. We'll see how it goes. Now, let's talk about my toolbox real quick. My number one tool in the toolbox is KenPom. I live on that site. I have withdrawals after the season. I go there during the baseball season, May, June, just to go there for that peace of mind, because that's what the site that I spend so much time on for 5 months during the college basketball season. And if a number is not within 3 points of the KenPom number, I don't bet it. I toss it off my card. Happens all the time. I have 29 games targeted for November the 3rd. I'll probably end up betting 20 of them because at least 9 or 10, it won't qualify for my KenPom requirement of the 3 points. Bart Torvik, great site. EvanMiya, great site. ESPN, of course, great site. Those are the tools in my toolbox that I use for college basketball. Now, my 29 plays, I'll rattle them off the top, and then we'll go through each game here in just a moment. But I have 29 targeted plays. BYU, the number's already out on that game. KenPom had me with expecting a -5. It came out at 7.5. But at a -5, my range I would have played was -2 to -8. It's at 7.5. So guess what? I had my first college basketball bet of the year in. I'm on BYU minus the 7.5, taking on Villanova. Neutral site game there in Las Vegas. The other plays I'll be targeting. Expected numbers here. Florida Atlantic +2. Ohio -3. UMass -3. Navy -1. South Dakota -1. Buffalo +2. South Dakota State -6. Siena -6. Northern Arizona +9. Idaho +8. St. Thomas +13. San Jose State +13. Incarnate Word +13. California -14. Loyola of Chicago -14. Howard +19. Marist +16. Michigan -23. Radford -13. George Washington -17. Seton Hall -15. Marquette -21. Denver +16. South Florida -18. Nebraska -23. North Carolina -29. Georgetown -24. And the Ohio State -30. So if I get any of those games within 3 points of that expected number, I will be betting it once the lines get posted. Now, let's get to the plays. We'll use the KenPom list, and this is Marquee game going down for expected, I think it's excitement level, right? So number one game on the board is Florida and Arizona, Hall of Fame series in Las Vegas. KenPom has Florida by 5, final score 84-79. I have a lean towards Florida in this game. It's going to be a great basketball game. That's all I can say. Florida's got a ton of talent. You look at their top 3 players, ranked 10th, 12th, and 44th in the country. Ton of talent. The T-rank line, though, is only Florida -1.6. So, Yeah, there's maybe potentially a little value in Arizona, but I still lean towards Florida in this game, but no official play for me between the Gators and the Wildcats. The game I do have a play on again is BYU taking on Villanova. That's game 2 of the Hall of Fame series in Las Vegas. KenPom had BYU -5, projected score of 80-75. Villanova, of course, debuting new head coach Kevin Willard. I lean towards BYU because they have more returning minutes coming back, 37.5% to 13.10. And their top 3 players, listen to this, ranked number 9, number 23, and number 45 in the country. So in the past, I always used to go with my buddy Toby's logic. You want to bet on the best player on the floor. But then the NBA always started talking about that big 3, right? So that's now why I look 3 deep in those EvanMiya numbers for the top player, second best player, and third best player. And BYU, once again, 9, 23, 45. That's why I like them. That's why I bet them now, minus the 7.5. So I will be on the Cougars taking on the Wildcats in that game. Next up, it is Boston College at Florida Atlantic, a true road game here. Boston College, according to KenPom, is a 2-point favorite. Expected score of 77-75. This one's simple for me. It's an official play once it gets posted because it's the little school hosting the big school. For those of you that have been listening to the podcast for a long time, you know I will play that in every such situation. Next up, it's High Point and Furman, a great field of 68 opening day marathon game. KenPom has High Point by 3. Final score projection is 78-75. New head coach at High Point. The prior head coach took an assistant job at Creighton as the coach in waiting. Did a tremendous job there. High Point, a very talented team. But I'm going to lean towards Furman here, getting the points on a neutral site. They have 56% of their minutes returning. They have a solid top 3. Yeah, give me Furman as a lean over High Point. Next up, it's Bradley and St. Bonaventure, field of 68, opening day marathon. KenPom has Bradley by 2. Expected score 72-70. This one was a tough one for me. I was leaning towards Bradley, but I flipped the lean to St. Bonnie. This one's maybe going off the metrics a little bit and maybe reading into some of the hype that I'm reading about the transfers coming in for St. Bonaventure. So I lean towards the Bonnies in a tight competitive game on a neutral floor. May regret it, but yes, the lean is towards St. Bonnie, but I didn't feel good enough to have a play on that game. Next up, it is Troy at Kent State, and thank you to the MAC and the Sun Belt for playing this challenge because it's given us a ton of great games on the opening day of college basketball. KenPom has Kent State by 2, projected score 74-72. I lean towards Kent State. Not a ton of reasons here. The T-rank number is a minus 4.6, 4.5 points basically to Kent State. So maybe a little more value there when you look at the numbers. Good, should be a very good competitive basketball game. So it's just a lean for me on Kent State at home. Rare that I don't actually lay the short number at home with a team like Kent State there. But that's how much I respect what I'm seeing on the Troy side. They have the best player on the floor, 299th ranked player in the country, compared to Kent State having their best player ranked 537th. So that's why it's a no play for me, just a lean on Kent State. Next up, it is Arkansas State at Ohio. KenPom has Ohio by 3. Projected score 78-75. I have an official play here on Ohio. Arkansas State has the coaching change. Very successful team last season, but guess what? They return zero minutes from the prior season. Meanwhile, Ohio returns 46% of their minutes. You give me that type of continuity on the Bobcat side. First game of the season. They're at home. Short number here. Yeah, I'll play Ohio. Expecting a -3. We'll play up to a -6. Next up, neutral site game, field of 68 in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I'll be at this game. It's Omaha taking on Murray State. Murray State is favored by 3 according to KenPom. Projected score 77-74. New head coach at Murray State. Ton of excitement. A very good assistant, bringing in a ton of talent. But that's the big thing for me. That's why I lean Omaha here because only 0.02% of the minutes are back at Murray State. Meanwhile, Chris Crutchfield has 59% of the minutes back for the Mavericks. So yes, I will lean towards Omaha on the neutral floor, getting the 3 points. Next up, it's James Madison and Akron. It is at Akron. This is a part of the MAC Sun Belt Challenge. I lean towards The Akron side here, KenPom has a projected score of 80 to 73. Akron by 7. John Gross has done a great job at Akron. And once again, I am leaning towards Akron. More returning minutes, top players favor Akron. Their top 3 players ranked 425, 453, 464. T rank number favors as well at a minus 8.1. Sorry about that. Get tongue tied. But yeah, just a lean on the Akron team there in that particular game. Next up, same challenge. It is South Alabama at Toledo. I lean towards South Alabama here. KenPom has Toledo by 3, projected score of 77 to 74. Why do I lean towards South Alabama? Well, more returning minutes, top player to South Alabama. Yes, they're on the road. It's a short number. It's not a play for me. It's just a lean on the Jaguars of South Alabama. Next up, it is Texas State at Bowling Green. KenPom has Bowling Green by 2, 73 to 71 projected final score. My lean is towards Bowling Green. Not a ton of information standing out on this one, but the 2 best players on the floor are on the Bowling Green side. They're the home team, short number. Neither team had a great year last year, but yes, I will lean towards Bowling Green in this one. And then the T rank line for me, 5.2 to Bowling Green. So yes, a little value there on the Falcons in that game. Next up, it is Marshall at UMass. KenPom has UMass by 3, 78-75. First game as a MAC member here for UMass. That's sad to see the Minutemen now in the MAC, but that happens in life. I'm going to go with Frank Martin here and the Minutemen. This is an official play for me. The T rank line gives me a couple points of value there. Best players on the floor. UMass has the 343rd best player in the country, 544th best player in the country. On the Marshall side, their best player is 844. Returning minutes favor UMass. Yeah, I think Frank Martin, after a 12-20 year last year, I think UMass has a nice bounce back season this year. I'm a lot higher on them than maybe some others. So give me UMass here minus the points in the opener. Next up, it is Indiana State at Charlotte. And KenPom has Charlotte by 4, 79-75 projected score. I lean towards Indiana State. Indiana State's coach having some health issues. He's not expected to be on the sideline, but they have more returning minutes. Yes, talent-wise, leans towards Charlotte. Charlotte is the home team here, but I'm going to go towards Indiana State. Give me Indiana State as the lean and not the play. Next up, it is Louisiana at Ball State. KenPom has Ball State by 1, 76-75 projected total. My lean is towards Ball State. No official play for me on that game. T rank line, over 3 points of value if you want to take a look at that one with the Cardinals. You have a new coach there at Louisiana. A lot of turnover in that game. Very little returning minutes for either team. That's why it's just a lean for me on Ball State. Next up, it is Navy at Presbyterian. This is a play for me on Navy. KenPom has Navy by 1, 72-71. New coach here at Navy, but they return 85.6% of the minutes. I love getting all those minutes back. And then the top 3 players on the floor all belonged in Navy. 379th, 622nd, 775th. Best player for Presbyterian ranks 1,024th. I'm going to go Navy here. Give me the midshipmen as an official play on the road at Presbyterian. Next up, it's Utah Tech at South Dakota. KenPom has South Dakota by 1, 81-80. I have an official play on South Dakota. I think the Coyotes are undervalued here. This is also a revenge spot. South Dakota lost at Utah Tech last season. Eric Peterson has 38.7% of his minutes back, a little bit better. Also as the top player on the floor. Home court advantage. Yeah, South Dakota in what should be a short number taking on Utah Tech. Official play for me on the Coyotes. Next up, it is Delaware at Bucknell. KenPom has Delaware by 2, 76-74. Welcome, Delaware, to Conference USA, but my lean is towards Bucknell here. More returning minutes, 48.8%. That was the biggest factor for me. So give me Bucknell as the lean, should be getting the points in that game. Next up, it's Hampton at Milwaukee. KenPom has Milwaukee by 4, 75-71. I have a lean towards Hampton, more returning minutes. Top 2 players or top 3 players going deep belong to Hampton in this spot. Milwaukee had a very successful season last year for Bart Lundy, but they did lose a lot of talent there. Very even matchup. I'm going to grab the points here with Hampton. I think that one's going to come down to the finish. Just a lean, though, not a play for me. Next up, it's Coastal Carolina at Western Michigan. KenPom has Western Michigan by 1, 75-74. The lean is towards Western Michigan here. Top player of the floor belongs to Western Michigan. That's about as deep as I'm going to go. This is a coin flip game. You have KenPom numbers of 263 and 292. Home team, yeah, I'll just lean that direction. T-rank line says Western Michigan by 3.4. Give me Western Michigan as the lean on the Broncos. Next up, it's Winthrop taking on Queens in the field of 8. 68 opening day marathon. KenPom has Winthrop by 6. Final score 84-78. My lean is towards Queens. More returning minutes, and that's about it. Everything else favors Winthrop there, but with the more returning minutes, talent level is somewhat equal. Neutral floor, 6 seems a little strong to me. T-rank number is only 3.1 to Winthrop. I'm going to grab the points with Queens there. I'm projecting as a lean. Next up, it's Old Dominion at Miami of Ohio. KenPom has Miami of Ohio by 7, 79-72. Lean towards Miami of Ohio here. Very nice returning minutes, 66.7 for Miami of Ohio. Best players on the court, all 3 belong to Miami of Ohio. So, yes, I'll lay the number there with Travis Steele's team as the MAC host school. But that is just a lean for me on Miami of Ohio. Next up, it is Southern Miss on the road at Buffalo. KenPom has Southern Miss by 2. Projected score 78-76. This is an official play for me on Buffalo. A little odd, but it's an official play. Returning minutes, Buffalo 39.4 compared to 5.1% at Southern Miss. Then when it comes to the best players on the floor, they actually belong to Buffalo in this game. So yeah, give me Buffalo here plus the points projected here at home. This is an official play for me, taking on Southern Miss. Next up, it's Samford at Tulane. KenPom has Tulane by 8. Projected score 81-73. My lean is towards Ron Hunter and the Green Wave. The T-rank line is minus 10.2. So a little value there on Tulane. They have 57.9% of their minutes returning compared to only 9.9 at Samford. Plus, Samford, of course, lost their head coach to another job. So, yes, I am leaning towards Tulane there as a play. Next up, it's App State on the road at Central Michigan. KenPom has App State by 4, 71-67. My lean is towards App State. Got a new coach at Central Michigan. Their KenPom is a 309. App State's a 195. Only 0.6% of the minutes returning for Central Michigan. Best players on the floor, once again, to App State. So I'm leaning that way. Projected line, once again, of 4. I'll be on App State. Next up, it's Boston U on the road at Northeastern. KenPom has Northeastern by 4. Projected score 73-69. My lean is towards the Terriers. Both teams returning a lot of minutes, actually. Boston U, 75.2% of their minutes are back. Northeastern, 46.6. Best players on the floor, well, yeah, top players somewhat equal. After that, maybe leaning towards Northeastern, but I'm going to grab the points here. Boston U, with all those experienced minutes back, I think Joe Jones and his club will make that one interesting. Just a lean, no. Georgia State at Eastern Michigan. KenPom has Eastern Michigan by 5. Projected score 79-74. Stan Heath at Eastern Michigan. I think he could have a good team this year. We'll find out, though. They have the best player on the floor. The T-rank line likes them, but my lean is towards Georgia State, though. Getting the 5 points might be a little too much. Georgia State does have more returning minutes, 34.6 to just 3.2 at Eastern Michigan. So give me Georgia State there as a lean plus the points. Next up, it's South Dakota State taking on Merrimack at the field of 68 opening day marathon. This game in Sioux Falls, it will be a heavy Jackrabbit crowd for South Dakota State. Last year at this event, they beat McNeese State and Will Wade in that game. If I remember right anyway, I was there for it. I should remember that. Jackrabbits favored by 6 according to KenPom, 75-69. New coach at South Dakota State, so I'm making a little bit of an exception here, back in the new coach, but they returned 58.4% of their minutes. Merrimack only 7.6% of their minutes back. More experience for South Dakota State. Top 3 players all belong to the Jackrabbits here. Yes, give me South Dakota State official play in Sioux Falls at the projected 6-point line. North Dakota State on the road at Oregon State. KenPom has Oregon State by 8, 78-70. My lean is towards Wayne Tinkle and the Beavers in this one. The T-rank line is minus 12.5 to Oregon State. Oregon State returns a little more minutes than North Dakota State. Best 3 players on the floor belong to the Beavers. I lean towards Oregon State to cover the number against North Dakota State. If that number were to come down a little bit, put it closer to the 2 possessions, 6, 6.5, 7, I'd probably officially be on the Beavers, but I'll see where the number comes out before I make it an official play. At this point, it's just a lean towards Oregon State. Bryant at Siena. Siena favored by 6 according to KenPom, 78-72. Projected final score. New head coach at Bryant. I have an official play here on Siena. T-rank line, minus 7.5. You have 72.3% of the minutes back for the Saints of Siena for Jerry McNamara there. I think Siena could be a factor here. I think they'll cover the number against a Bryant team that won 23 games last season. But yes, I'll be on Siena. Best player on the floor, ton of minutes returning. Best 3 players on the floor, ton of minutes returning. Give me Siena minus the points. Towson. Oh, this is going to be a good basketball team. On the road at Loyola, Maryland. No, not on the road. Excuse me. Neutral site game, Hall of Fame series in Baltimore. I lean towards Towson. They're going to be so good. 8-point favorite according to KenPom, 75-67. But Loyola, Maryland does return 62.8% of their minutes. That scared me away a little bit. So I only lean towards Towson in this one instead of an official play. But if that number were to come down, I'll be all in on Towson in that one. Next up, it is Northern Arizona taking on Drake, neutral site in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Drake by 9, 79-70, projected number here. New head coach at Drake, Eric Henderson, coming from South Dakota State, so he's familiar with this arena, coached in it a ton, but he only has 0.6% of his minutes coming at Drake because everyone went to Iowa, right? So that's part of the storyline there. Northern Arizona, 48.5% of their minutes back from an 18-16 team a season ago. Yeah, talent edge to Drake here. Neutral floor, though, a little too many points for me. This is an official play for me in Northern Arizona. I think they keep it competitive, the Lumberjacks, against the Bulldogs. UL Monroe at Northern Illinois. Got a new coach at UL Monroe. Northern Illinois favored by 5 according to KenPom, 75-72. Projected final score here. My lean is towards Northern Illinois. No one has minutes returning here. 0 for Northern Illinois, and I'm still leaning that way. This is going to be a great example of in the portal era, we have a lot of turnover. UL Monroe only won 7 games last year. Northern Illinois 6. I lean towards Northern Illinois, though. Idaho on the road at Washington State. The number is Washington State by 8 according to KenPom, 82-74 projected final score. I am officially on Idaho as a play. They return 62.7% of their minutes. They actually have not 1, not 2, but the 3 best players on the floor all belong to Idaho. So they have the top end talent compared to Washington State. Washington State may have the depth here. But yes, Idaho, going to be a factor, in my opinion, with all those returning minutes. So I have an official play on Idaho on the road at Washington State. St. Thomas on the road at St. Mary's, a battle of the Saints. St. Mary's by 13, according to KenPom, 77-64. Not so fast, my friend. Official play for me on the Tommies and Johnny Trower's team. St. Thomas from the Summit League, they're the projected conference favorite. They have 41.5% of their minutes returning. Top players are respectable. Yes, St. Mary's got a ton of talent. We know that. Randy Bennett has a loaded team year in and year out, but they don't have as much talent returning. Their experience level, under 1 year of experience. He's heavily going international here again. So I'm going to take St. Thomas. Give me the Tommies here, plus that 13-point expectation on the road at St. Mary's. Hofstra on the road at UCF. Taking on the Knights. KenPom has UCF by 13. Projected score 79-66. The lean here is towards Hofstra. I'll take Speedy Claxton's team plus the points. No returning minutes for Johnny Dawkins there at Central Florida. Little interesting to see no returning minutes. They do have the best players on the floor. T-rank line actually likes them a lot, minus 16.4, but I still think that might be a little too much, so that's why I lean towards Hofstra in that game. San Jose State taking on Utah. KenPom has Utah by 13. Projected score 80-67. You have a new head coach at Utah. That's the main reason for my handicap, too. If this was game 5, this might be a big J money play of the day for me. Tim Miles, one of his best friends in the world, was Craig Smith. He was fired at Utah. You know he wants to get a little payback for his buddy. So, yeah, I'll make that an official play. Give me San Jose State plus the points on the road at Utah. Utah's got talent. They're going to be good. Tough home court advantage as well. But returning minutes do favor San Jose State. And Utah with the coaching change, roster turnover. Let's see if the Spartans can keep that one interesting in the opener. Incarnate Word on the road at Colorado State. KenPom has Colorado State by 13. Projected score 82-69. And new head coach at Colorado State since Nico came to Minnesota. Sky Umad of the Gophers there. More returning minutes on the Incarnate Word side. Best player on the floor. Yeah, it belongs to Incarnate Word. Give me Incarnate Word plus the points. That's an official play for me on the road at Colorado State. Next up, it's Youngstown State on the road at Pittsburgh. KenPom has Pittsburgh by 14, 82-68. My lean here is to Youngstown State. A lot of metrics just kind of lining up as neutral. No real opinion on this game. So I just lean towards grabbing the points with Youngstown State. They won 22 games last year. Same head coach, returned, decent amount of minutes. Yeah, give me Youngstown State as a lean. Next up, it is Air Force at Belmont. KenPom has Belmont by 12, 79-67. Your projected score. Air Force only won 4 games last season for Joe Scott. That's tough. Belmont returns 47.6% of their minutes. They have the best 3 players on the floor. T-rank line likes them. Actually, I'm surprised they didn't make this a play. Maybe it's just because I think Air Force's tempo might be an interesting matchup for Belmont. So that's why I probably only went lean. I could definitely see this when the number comes out, do a little more handicap in this game. I may upgrade this one to an official play, but for right now, it's just a lean on Belmont for me. Then Wofford taking on George Mason, new head coach there for Wofford. My lean is towards George Mason. I like Tony Skinn and his club. Only 14.5% of the minutes returning, though, but there's talent in there. Top 3 players on the floor belong to George Mason and the Patriots. They won 27 games a year ago. A lot of confidence going into the season. A lot of experience on that roster. 2.73 years compared to 1.44 for Wofford there. So, yes, lean towards George Mason at the 13 number. Detroit Mercy at UIC. KenPom has Illinois of Chicago by 11, 78-67. My lean is towards Detroit Mercy, coming off of an 8-win season. 69.5% of their minutes returning compared to 12.2 for Illinois of Chicago. That's why experience maybe favors Illinois Chicago, but the consistency at Detroit Mercy, that's a double-digit number. Let's see if Detroit Mercy can keep that interesting. That's just a lean for me, not an official play. Purdue Fort Wayne at Grand Canyon. KenPom has Grand Canyon by 15. 85-70 is your projected score. Welcome to the Mountain West. Bryce Drew and Grand Canyon. The Lopes are in the big time now here. I lean towards Grand Canyon. Not a play for me. A lot of new moving parts there, but Grand Canyon definitely has a ton of talent for Bryce Drew again this season. Cal State Bakersfield at California. California here by 14, according to KenPom. 80-66 is your projected score. You have a new coach, came in late after some drama in September at Cal State Bakersfield. I have a play on California. I think Mark Madsen's team is in a better spot this year. 32.4% of their minutes returning. They have 135th best player in the country, 500th best, and 604. Their top end is way better than Cal State Bakersfield. You add in the drama factor, it's an official play for me on the Bears of California and Mark Madsen's team, projected at the 14 points. Cleveland State at Loyola of Chicago. KenPom has Loyola of Chicago by 14, projected score 81-67. New head coach at Cleveland State after a 23-win season. They return 0, count them up, 0 minutes from last season. Talent edge to the Ramblers. Drew Valentine's team won 25 games last year. First game without Sister Jean. I'm going to bet on Loyola of Chicago. Oh, come on. Yes, give me Loyola of Chicago. Official play for me over Cleveland State. South Carolina Upstate on the road at Cal Baptist. KenPom has Cal Baptist by 11, 83-72. Projected score. UC Upstate only won 6 games last season. They do return 68% of the minutes. That's my only defense here because I lean towards South Carolina Upstate over Cal Baptist. So give me the points with UC Upstate in that one. Southern on the road at Arkansas. KenPom has Arkansas by 20, 84-64 is your projected score. John Calipari won 22 games there last season. They heated up in the tournament. I'm leaning towards the Razorbacks in the opener. Southern won 20 games last year. They returned 50% of their minutes. This will not be as easy as people think, but Arkansas has the talent edge. I think late they pull away. I think they can win by more than 20, but wouldn't shock me if it's in that 22 to 18-point range, and I'm just leaning towards the Razorbacks. Jacksonville on the road at Miami. KenPom has Miami of Florida by 15, 79-64 is your projected score. New coach there at Miami, and I lean towards Miami to bounce back from a 7-24 season. I don't bet too many teams that only have 0 minutes returning, but Miami, I'm leaning that direction against a 19-win team from Jacksonville from a season ago, returning 33% of their minutes. But yes, leaning towards Miami at the 15. T-rank line is a big factor there. 21.1 is that projected number favoring the Hurricanes. Missouri at Howard. KenPom has Missouri by 19. Projected score 89-70. Official play for me on the Howard Bison. It is the little school hosting the big school. Thank you, Dennis Gates, for scheduling this game. That's a big deal to me. I like to see the little school get the opportunity. So give me Howard here plus the points taken on Missouri. Marist on the road at Xavier. Xavier is projected here by 16 according to KenPom, 79-63. Richard Pitino, the former Golden Gopher head coach, makes the move from New Mexico to Xavier. The Musketeers won 22 games a year ago, but the cupboard's bare. 0.10 minutes returning from a year ago. He does have some talent coming in. T-rank line, 14.4. I like John Dunn and Marist. I think their defense could give them some challenges. They return 66.3% of their minutes. They have a top 700 player, ranked 669 in the country. Yeah, official play for me on Marist on the road at Xavier. Tennessee Tech at Western Kentucky. KenPom's number, Western Kentucky by 12, 83-71 is your projected score. I lean towards Western Kentucky. Not a lot of data here other than the best player by far and away belongs to the Hilltoppers, ranking 106th in the country. Campbell on the road at Wisconsin. Wisconsin by 21. Projected final score 85-64. New coach at Campbell. Greg Gard, though, and Wisconsin found their offense last year. They have a little more returning minutes. They have 2 top 100 players, and if Greg Gard has talent, he can flat out coach. He has the 72nd and 82nd best player in the country this year. So, yes, I will lean towards Wisconsin minus the 21 at home over Campbell. Montana State on the road at Colorado. KenPom has Colorado by 15, 81-66. I lean towards Montana State here. Both teams struggled a little bit last year. Montana State won 15 games. Colorado won 14. Similar returning minutes. Talent level obviously favors Colorado, but getting 15 points here, I'll grab them with Montana State on the road at Colorado. Colgate at Michigan State. KenPom has Michigan State by 21, 84-63. I have a lean towards Colgate here. Colgate and Matt Langwell is returning 60.8% of the minutes from a year ago. So, yes, even though Tom Izzo won 30 games last year at Michigan State, 41.7% of the minutes back, they have 2 top 100 players. I lean towards Colgate It's a big number for me, although the T-rank line says Michigan State minus 26.3. I will still lean Colgate plus the 21 as the target number. Lipscomb at Vanderbilt. KenPom has Vanderbilt by 22, 87-65. New coach at Lipscomb. I lean towards Vandy in this one. Top two. They have two top 100 players at Vandy coming off a 20-win season. Very nice job there recruiting. 40th best player in the country, 71st ranked player in the country. 22 might be a low number there. T-rank line 26.5. Yes, give me the Commodores minus the points as a lean. Getting winded here, getting tired, running out of breath. I'll try to keep going. It's Oakland on the road at Michigan. Michigan by 23, potential Final Four team this year. 87-64 projected score. I have an official play on Michigan. I love Greg Kampe. He's been at Oakland forever, one of the funniest guys in the world. Doesn't have a ton of returning minutes, and he's facing a powerhouse program. Yes, 23 is a big number, but the T-rank line is 29. Michigan, second, 52nd, 53rd best player in the country, 38.7% of the minutes returning. KenPom, number 11 in the nation. Give me the Wolverines to roll here as an official play, minus the 23. Western Illinois at Radford. Radford by 13, according to KenPom. Projected score 79-66. New coach at Radford, but I'll make an exception here. This is an official play for me. The T-rank line is so significant at a 19.1. Plus, you add in the fact Western Illinois, they have 0 minutes returning. And the top 3 players by far and away on the Radford side, the best player actually for the Leathernecks ranks 2,691st in the country. So yes, Radford, official play for me with a target of 13. Maine at George Washington. KenPom has George Washington by 71. Projected score 81-64. I'll admit it right now. I have a man crush on this Revolutionaries team. I like George Washington this year. 51.4% of their minutes returning. Top 100 team in the KenPom numbers, 81st in the country. They have some talent. 123rd best player, 241st best player, 368th best player. I like GW this year. I think they start strong. Maine won 20 games from a season ago in the America East. But yes, give me George Washington here as a play at the 17 number target. T-rank line 22.5. We'll see if I get to play that one. It could open at like 21 and I don't play it, but I will want to be on George Washington as an official play. St. Peter's at Seton Hall. Seton Hall by 15. Target score here, 73-58, according to KenPom. Official play for me on Seton Hall. They won just 7 games last year for Shaheen Holloway, but he scheduled his old team, the Peacock of St. Peter's. He needs an easy W to open the season. I think they get it. They have to make a statement here. 15. Yeah, the numbers maybe say it should even be lower according to T-rank, but I'm going to go against the computer a little bit here. Give me the Pirates of Seton Hall to roll in the opener and start this year with a good note. Think offensively, they're better than they've been in the past few years. Western Carolina at Cincinnati. KenPom has Cincinnati by 20, 81-61. Lean towards Wes Miller and the Bearcats. It's a big year for them. A lot of returning minutes at Western Carolina. They're getting a lot of love because they're one of the biggest jumpers in the KenPom numbers. I think they jumped over 100 points in the rankings. That's a better basketball team this year. But Cincinnati, they made progress as well. After winning 19 games a year ago, their KenPom preseason, number 36 in the land. Their top 3 players, 114th, 130th, 155th in the nation. A lot better balance at the top and a lot better talent at the top for Cincinnati this year. T-rank line, 25.5. I lean towards the Bearcats. If that number comes down a little bit, I will be officially on Cincinnati by tip time. Long Island University at Notre Dame. KenPom has the Fighting Irish by 17. 78-61 is the projected score. Rod Strickland coaching the Sharks of LIU, former DePaul star. I lean towards Notre Dame here. Michael Shrewsbury has 53.5% of the minutes returning from last year, and he has a top 100 player. So once again, lean to the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Quinnipiac at St. John's. KenPom has St. John's by 25. Projected score 90-65. My lean is towards St. John's. I have it written down someplace. Do not Do not question Rick Pitino. It didn't work for me in the regular season last year. Every time I bet against him, he beat me. I think I lost 12 bets thinking St. John's wasn't as good as the numbers said. I'm not going to do it this year. Just give me the Johnnies as a lean in the opener against Quinnipiac. Next up, Lafayette on the road at St. Joseph's. KenPom has St. Joe's by 15. Projected score 78-63. I have a lean towards Lafayette. 63.6% of their minutes returning. St. Joseph's had the late coaching change as their former head coach went to the NBA to be an assistant. So, yes, that's part of the reason there. Give me Lafayette plus the points as a lean. SEMO, Southeast Missouri State on the road at St. Louis. KenPom has the Billikens by 18. Projected score 84-66. Lean towards SEMO here. 62% of their minutes returning. Nice little rivalry game here. An opportunity for Brad Korn. We know St. Louis, the Billikens, going to have one of the best players in the country, Robbie Avila, 55th best player in the country. I'm going to be on the Billikens a lot this year, but I think SEMO getting this many points on the road at St. Louis, too good a spot here. I'll take SEMO plus the points as a lean on the road at St. Louis. Bethune-Cookman at Auburn. KenPom has Auburn by 23, 86-63. My lean is towards Bethune-Cookman. Reggie Theus there. He's doing a nice job. 17 wins a season ago, 32.3% of the minutes returning. They actually have a 403rd ranked best player in the country. Not bad for a SWAC school, that's for sure. That's nice to see him get some talent level there. Stephen Pearl making his debut at Auburn. Maybe he runs it up in the opener, but I'll lean towards Bethune-Cookman getting the points in that one. Eastern Washington at UCLA. KenPom has UCLA by 25, 87-62 is the projected score. I love Dan Munson, Eastern Washington. I think he's going to have a much, much better team this year. But UCLA, KenPom, number 10 in the country. Mick Cronin's got talent. Mick Cronin can coach. He has the 25th best player, 32nd best player, 66th best player in the country. You give Mick Cronin talent, and he's going to succeed. So, yes, I'm going to lean towards UCLA in that one. T-rank number 31.9 points favoring UCLA. That may become an official play before that game tips off. Albany on the road at Marquette. KenPom has Marquette by 21, 85-64. This is an official play for me on Shaka Smart and the Marquette Golden Eagles. 53.8% of the minutes returning. They're not big into the portal. They're big into player development. I'm going to be cheering like heck for Marquette this year. T-rank line 25.1 on this game. 92nd best player, 190, 298. Of course, they have more talent than Albany, no doubt about it, but I think Shaka Smart, they get off to a nice start. They play good defense. Maybe there's concerns about the offense here, but I'll lay the 21 with Marquette taking on Albany in that opener. Northwestern State at Texas A&M. KenPom has Texas A&M, the Aggies by 23, 86-63. Bucky McMillan making his coaching debut at Texas A&M after Buzz Williams left town. I lean towards Northwestern State here. Texas A&M, complete roster turnover, 0.70 minutes returning. Northwestern State won 16 games last year in the Southland Conference. They returned 53.4% of their minutes. This is a big enough number. I'll just lean towards the Demons of Northwestern State getting the points. Jackson State at Illinois. KenPom's number is Illinois by 28. Projected score 93-65. Lean towards Jackson State here. Love Illinois. Love all the transfers they have coming in. Love the talent they have. 13th best player in the country. But 28, big number when Jackson State returns 61.7% of their minutes for Mo Williams there. So lean towards Jackson State. Southeast Louisiana taking out Ole Miss. It is KenPom having Ole Miss by 23, 84-61 is the projected score. I am leaning towards Southeast Louisiana at that number. Cal Poly on the road at USC. KenPom has USC by 26, projected score 94-68. Lean towards Cal Poly here. 44.1% of their minutes returning compared to Eric Musselman, only returning 14.1% at USC. Trojans will be much improved from the 17 wins a season ago, but 26, that's a big number against a Big West school that returns that many minutes. So once again, lean towards Cal Poly. Fairfield at Ohio State. KenPom has Penn State. Did I say Ohio State? Meant to say Penn State here. Penn State by 17, projected score 84-67. I am leaning towards Fairfield. 38.5% of their minutes returning, more experienced roster. Yes, give me Fairfield and the points. Give me the Stags there on the road at Penn State as a lean. Mercer at Tennessee. KenPom has Tennessee by 26. 86-60 is your projected score. I am leaning towards Tennessee. Rick Barnes has a talented roster, ranked number 9 in the KenPom numbers. I will lean towards them covering the number against Mercer. UT Rio Grande Valley on the road at Baylor. KenPom has Baylor by 26. 89-63 is your projected final score. Lean towards UT Rio Grande Valley. 0% returning minutes for Baylor and Scott Drew there. He's got talent. They're 17th in the KenPom numbers, but with that roster turnover, maybe a slow start, little sluggy start. Yes, give me UT Rio Grande Valley plus the points there. Let's see if they can keep that one interesting early enough to cash. Minnesota taking on Gardner-Webb. KenPom has Minnesota by 19, 84-65 projected score. I have a typo on my Minnesota coach on the sheet. Oh, my goodness. Nico Medved. How did I do that? I'm not sure how I didn't proofread that one, but lean towards Minnesota here. He's going to do a much, much better job with the Golden Gophers this season. It's going to take a little time, but I will be leaning towards Minnesota in that opener. Just take some time for that talent to kick in. Next up, Tarleton State taking on SMU. Billy Gillespie. Wow. Billy G. That's all. I am getting really tired, obviously. KenPom has SMU by 22, 83-61. What I was trying to say, Billy went through a lot of challenges at Tarleton State, got suspended earlier this year, but he'll be on the sideline taking on Andy Enfield and SMU. My lean is towards Tarleton State here. Yeah, that's what I'll say. Plus the 22. After all of the drama there, I think they respond and play a good game for him on the road against the local team in Dallas there at SMU. Denver on the road at Seattle. KenPom has Seattle by 16. Projected score 80-64. New coach at Denver. New conference for Seattle. This is a play for me because this is one of the exceptions that I'm not going to believe all the computer numbers because a lot of the transfers at Denver I've watched in person. I think the 52nd 100 ranked player in the country, I think he'll end up at the top 1,000. That's for sure. I like some of the talent coming in from Morehead State to Denver, along with the head coach. I watched that team in person a number of times. I'm grabbing the points. Official play for me on the Pioneers on the road at Seattle. That could be my big J money play of the day. That could be a hammer play for me in November. That's how much I like Denver. And lock in Denver as quick as you can because their exhibition game is Saturday night. If they look good there, that line will probably go down. But I hope I get something close to 16 because I would love to be on the Pioneers plus the 16 at Seattle. Niagara on the road at Duquesne. KenPom has Duquesne by 16, 78-62. My lean is towards Duquesne. A lot of returning minutes, 48.4% of the minutes going back for the Dukes there. I think they'll be much improved after the 13-win season last year, so leaning towards Duquesne. Florida A&M at South Florida. KenPom has South Florida by 18, 83-65. New coaches for both teams, including Charlie Ward at Florida A&M. South Florida going to be much improved, though. Much, much improved. They've significantly upgraded the talent from the 13-win season a year ago. 202nd, 212th, 271st ranked player in the country. T-rank line loves them at a minus 24.7. Official play for me on the Bulls of South Florida taking on Florida A&M. Target line is at 18. Ryder at Virginia. KenPom has Virginia by 21, 83-62. Ryan Odom makes his Virginia debut. I'll lean that direction. He's got no returning minutes, basically, but I still will lean towards the Cavaliers in his debut game. Stetson on the road at Rhode Island. KenPom has Rhode Island by 18. Projected score 85-67. Lean towards Archie Miller and the Rams here is my lean. No returning minutes, but they have the talent. Stetson only won 8 games last year for Donnie Jones. Yes, let's lean towards Rhode Island at home, taking on Stetson. New Orleans on the road at TCU. KenPom has TCU by 21. Projected score 85-64. Lean towards Jamie Dixon and the Horned Frogs of TCU. A little more returning minutes. They have top end talent. T-rank line is at 24. KenPom numbers say TCU should be a little bit improved this year. New Orleans only won 4 games last season, so maybe it's the fate of New Orleans, but give me TCU as the lean at the minus 21. Texas Southern taking on Gonzaga. The Zags are favored by 29. Projected score 93-64. Lean towards the Zags at the 29 number. Texas Southern always plays the toughest schedule in the country. They have the edge in returning minutes, but we all know talent level resides with the Zags. Let's see how they start the year. Give me the Zags once again as the lean. Charleston Southern taking on Virginia Tech. Va Tech favored by 20. 83-63 is your projected score. And somehow I just lost my screen. I'm not sure how I lost my screen. There it comes back. Oh boy, that would have been really bad. Virginia Tech is the lean with Mike Young. If I go an hour into the show or 50 minutes in the show and I lose my screen and have to restart, that would not have been a good thing. Hokies lean, official play there. Part of it, Mike Young, 46.5% of the returning talent. Plus, he needs some wins. They only won 13 games a season ago. I don't think he's going to pull the starters out too early in that game. He's going to keep the gas pedal down and run it up if he can. Binghamton on the road at Syracuse. KenPom has the Cuse by 21. 86-65 is your projected score. Adrian Autry, he needs some wins there with the Cuse. 14 wins a season ago. They should be better this year. They have 3 top 100 or 200 players. T-rank line likes him at 26.2. I will lean towards the orange in the opener, taking on Binghamton. Bellarmine taking on Georgia. KenPom has Georgia by 24, 88-64. Doug Davenport makes his debut, taking over the reins at Bellarmine. Lean, though, towards Georgia. Mike White made the NC2A tournament last year, won 20 games with the Bulldogs. He's got some talent there again. So, yes, let's go Bulldogs as my lean over Bellarmine in the opener. North Dakota on the road at Alabama. KenPom has Alabama by 29. Projected score 97-68. Lean towards Bama here. Alabama actually won only by 7 at North Dakota last year. Maybe a little revenge spot there, too, if you can say that. But, yes, I'll take the Crimson Tide to roll in the opener, even though they lost a ton of talent. They still have the fifth best player in the country. That's a pretty good starting point for Nate Oates, though. I think they make a statement against North Dakota in the opener as a lean. West Georgia taking on Nebraska. KenPom has Nebraska by 23, 89-66. I have an official play here on Nebraska. West Georgia won only 6 games a year ago. They return only 17% of their minutes. Meanwhile, Fred Hoiberg, 36% of the minutes returning. They have some top-end talent. T-rank line is really what stood out here, though. 33.9 is the T-rank line. So if I get near the KenPom number at 23, I'm going to grab it. I have a feeling, though, this is going to find a way in between those two numbers, and I won't have a play. But if it is 26 or less, I'll be on the Huskers taking on West Georgia. Next up, South Carolina State on the road at Louisville. Louisville favored by 30, projected score 94-64. Lean towards Pat Kelsey and the Cardinals. They won 27 games a season ago. They return a few more minutes. They're loaded. Top 3 players all ranked in the top 100. T rank 33.2. Little discount maybe there on the Cardinals, so I will lean that direction. American University at Wake Forest. Wake Forest favored by 23. Projected score 83-60. My lean is towards American. They returned 49.4% of their minutes there compared to 27.8 for Steve Forbes at Wake Forest. So yes, give me American plus the points as a lean. North Carolina Central taking on North Carolina State. KenPom has NC State by 26. Projected score 87-61. Will Wade, the head coach at NC State, making his debut. I'll lean that direction. Doesn't return a ton of minutes, but he does recruit. Top 35 player in the country. I'll pay to see it. Give me North Carolina State as my lean over NC Central. Lehigh taking on Houston. Well, we know Kelvin Sampson's loaded again. Houston favored by 32. Projected score 86-54. Yes, the Cougars returned 43.1% of their minutes. They have 3 top 29 players in the country. My lean is towards Houston. It will be rare. I will bet against Kelvin Sampson and the Cougars this season. Next up, Green Bay at Kansas. Doug Gottlieb taking on Bill Self in this one. KenPom has Kansas by 29, 90-61. Green Bay with 53% of their minutes returning. I know they only won 4 games last season, but getting 29 in the opener with that much returning, yeah, I'll lean towards Green Bay. Give me Doug Gottlieb's club plus the points there. I am running out of steam. Let's make it to the finish line. Central Arkansas at North Carolina. KenPom has North Carolina by 29, 93-64. Hubert Davis needs to have a good season. The T-rank line on this one, 39.1. That's enough for me. I will make that an official play. Give me North Carolina to run it up over Central Arkansas, coming off a 9-win season for Central Arkansas. Canisius at Dayton. KenPom has Dayton by 24, 83-59. Lean towards Dayton in this one with Anthony Grant's team. A little more returning minutes. Only 3 wins last year for Canisius. I think I bet on them like 7 times, and I went 0 for 7 in the MAAC. I'll fade them this time around. Give me the Flyers. I'll lean that direction in the opener. Morgan State at Georgetown. KenPom has Georgetown by 24, 87-66. Ed Cooley, Georgetown, they could be a tournament team this year. You heard it here. KenPom rank of 82. T-rank number says 23 or 27.3. I'm an official play in the Hoyas. I'll fade Morgan State here as well. They are ranked 357th in the KenPom numbers. Georgetown, like I said, I think they could be a tournament team. So I'll lay the points with the Hoyas as an official play on the opening night. St. Francis at Oklahoma. KenPom has Oklahoma by 25, 87-62. New coach at St. Francis, Porter Mosier. They're flirting with it. 20 wins last season in the tough SEC. He's got some talent. T-rank numbers like him, 32.5 for this game. So I'll lean towards the Sooners and Porter Mosier's team. Holy Cross at Providence. Providence by 25, according to KenPom, 87-62. I'll lean towards the Friars here. Kim English, well, hey, if Ed Cooley's going to make the tournament at Georgetown, Providence better get back to the tournament here soon. A little pressure there. I'll lean towards Providence to keep the gas pedal down today. They have 41.2% of their minutes returning. Friars need to make some progress this year. I think they start with a nice win over Holy Cross. IU Indy taking on Ohio State. KenPom has Ohio State by 30, 92-62. Official play for me on the Ohio State. A T-rank number, 36.9. IU Indy, 354th in the country in the KenPom numbers. Meanwhile, Ohio State, they are shooting up. Number 27 in the country, 6th best player, 78th best player, 91st best player. Jake Diebler, you got talent now. You better win with the Buckeyes this year. I think you will. He'll make a big statement in the opener. I'll lay the number with Ohio State as an official play, projected to be a 30-point favorite. Fairleigh Dickinson on the road at Iowa State. Iowa State favored by 33, 90-57 projected score. I'll lean towards the Cyclones in that game. 53.4% of their minutes returning. Fairleigh Dickinson with only 3.2% of their minutes returning. Big talent edge there, obviously, to Iowa State. I'll lean towards the 33-point line. Chicago State taking on DePaul. Blue Demons favored by 24, 85-61, your projected score. New coach at Chicago State. They only won 4 games a season ago. Chris Holtman, KenPom rank of 78. That is the best for DePaul since 2007. Yes, the Blue Demons are getting close. They return 35.9% of their minutes. I will lean towards DePaul in the opener against Chicago State. New Hampshire at Clemson. KenPom has Clemson by 29, 88-59. I am leaning towards New Hampshire here. A little more returning minutes. That's about all I'll say there. Clemson, obviously, only 10.9% of their minutes returning. So, yes, we'll lean towards New Hampshire plus the 29. Mercyhurst at Northwestern. Northwestern by 25, 83-58 is your projected final score. I'll lean towards Northwestern and the Wildcats with Chris Collins. They return 49.7% of their minutes. Wagner on the road at VCU. Wagner still doesn't have a head coach. Still unknown who their head coach is. KenPom has VCU by 25, 80-55. Projected score, Phil Martelli Jr. makes his debut with VCU. I'll lean that direction over the unknown coach at Wagner. Maryland Eastern Shore at Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech by 25. Projected score 85-60. I lean towards Damon Stoudemire and the Ramblin' Wreck of Georgia Tech, giving the Yellow Jackets as a lean over Maryland Eastern Shore, who won just 6 games a season ago, and they're a KenPom 361st ranked team in the country. Coppin State at Maryland. KenPom has Maryland by 29, 84-55. Buzz Williams' debut for the Terps. Coppin State won 6 games a year ago. Buzz Williams has nothing back, 0.2% of the minutes, but I still lean towards the Terrapins in the opener at the 29 number. Arkansas Pine Bluff at Washington. Washington's a team I'm going to play a ton this year. KenPom, Washington by 32, 94-62. Danny Sprinkle's got a much better team. Watch out for him. 45th ranked team in the KenPom numbers after winning just 13 games a season ago. T-ranked number here, 36.5. I lean towards the Huskies minus the 32. New Haven at UConn. UConn by 37, 92-55. New Haven, welcome to Division I basketball. They make the move up. I lean towards New Haven plus the 37 points. Danny Hurley, have a heart. These guys are the new kids on the block. Let them enjoy their first game. UConn's going to be loaded this year, but 37, give me New Haven. That was a lean only, not a play. And the final game on the board, it's UAB taking on Mississippi Valley State. UAB by 33, projected score 89-65. I lean towards UAB and Andy Kennedy's team. They got some talent. They can score the basketball. There's no doubt about that. So give me the Blazers at the 33 number as a lean, not an official play. And that is the last slide of my slideshow. That wraps up this podcast. If you thought the Super Show with Coda Capricilo was tough, I'll tell you what, I have no voice going through 112 college basketball games. I can't wait for November 3rd, everyone. Thank you for joining me on this first ever show. I almost forgot what I'm calling the show, but it is trying to be before the lines, before the number. That's the name of the game here. I am tongue-tied. It is late at night. I'm not sure why I did this, but that's how excited I am for college basketball. If you enjoyed the show, let me know. If you didn't enjoy the show, well, you probably didn't listen for an hour, so you'll never tell me, but that's okay. Enjoy the games, everyone. And as always, manage that bankroll. Don't chase money. Have fun, and let's cash some tickets together. Good luck, everyone.